BrewTube, DJ here, and Johnny! Back at you for yet another DJs BrewTube beer review.
And what are we celebrating today?
Today we are celebrating 1 year and over 270 reviews. Actually 270 I think, but we've got well over 300 in the bank besides the other beers that we've drank. And a full year of DJs BrewTubing. And we felt it would be appropriate to have a special beer for this. And I don't have any more special in my cellar right now than Westvleteren XII. How about, what do you think, Johnny? Is that an appropriate one?
I really do think so. I mean, you know, it's like going to church on Sunday. We go to church once a year, and it happens to be today.
There you go. So, we've got our glasses. Now, I'm kind of looking back over the year before we review this, and I've learned a lot about beer in a year.
I've learned how to drink beer, and I've learned how to drink beer fast.
Yes. I've accumulated a shit ton of geek knowledge, and I've got my stunt drinker here, and I'm thinking back to the first review I did, which was Blue Moon, Belgian white or ale, whatever the hell they call that, and we've really increased our game and quality level since then, haven't we?
Quite a bit. And we've learned not to, we've learned to not do reviews at the end of the night anymore after we've cronked on 12 or so beers and try to do some, remember, I mean, it's bad enough that I can't remember what I drank 10 minutes ago, let alone 2 hours ago. And one of the guys I subscribe to, and I like his videos a whole lot, the Albino Rhino, he asked if we had like 10 beers that were really significant to us. And, you know, I don't know if I can really get 10 beers up in my mind that have been super significant. I'm not that far along my beer journey yet. Maybe in a year or so, maybe I'll be able to do that. But yeah, I'm not shitting out craft beers yet.
That's right. I do know one beer that is really important to me. And I'd say the beer that totally started me on craft beer was Guinness Draft out of the can. And why is that? Because when I lived in China, back in the 90s, I was studying there for about a year. And my friends and I, before we went back to the States or whatever country we were from, I lived in a big international dormitory at the University of Beijing, or Beijing University, and we went to the Great Wall to climb the Great Wall. Well, when we ascended the highest point of the Great Wall, I was lucky enough, I had a buddy from Oregon as one of my classmates, and he actually knew a little something about craft beer, at least better beer than fizzy yellow piss water. And he did like the ultimate thing, man. He carried up a flask of whiskey with him, and he carried up a 4-pack of Guinness Draft. And all 4 of us buddies, we cracked a Guinness Draft up there and drank a Guinness Draft on the top of the Great Wall. And that's what really started me on my journey into craft beer and drinking something better than the most common denominator beer, which is the fizzy yellow piss water macro brew. So that's mine. How about you, Johnny?
Well, being from the #1 Playboy party school, West Virginia University, spending 5 wonderful years there, you know, it was drinking all that piss water those first couple of years. Buddies and I started drinking, remember Rattlesnake Lager?
Rattlesnake Lager?
Yeah, it was out of Louisiana. And back then it was like $7 for a 6-pack. And you're, still college. It's like, man, it was still like lager, but, it was better than Budweiser or anything like that. But I have to say...
Happy birthday, DJs BrewTube!
Oh, here we go.
Happy birthday.
Where's the candle?
Oh. Hi.
You can take it back up, buddy.
Yay! We finished. Oh, mine.
Well, there's the soda tube reviewers.
Yes, they're here to join us too, part of the family. It looks like we've gotten a pie.
And brewtubers.
Yes, looks like we've gotten a pie for our first anniversary, which we'll have a little bit later, after we enjoy this delicious beer, so we don't defile our palates.
So as I was saying, getting into starting BrewTube last year, being the stunt drinker.
Hey guys, wait, take that up.
What?
Take that up, it's gonna melt.
I guess the
She
bit,
wants you guys to eat it or something.
we don't have a knife or a plate.
Oh, well,
We'll eat it for you.
There you go. So, I guess it was when you told me to go get the KBS.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I took an extra long lunch hour, and my wife was off that day, and we basically chased the beer truck to Total Wine, had lunch across the street, drove around back, hot dogs leaving, drove around back and went into the store, got the KBS, both of us, because they're only giving a 4-pack per person. I remember walking out and the guy goes, "Hey, how'd you get 2 of them?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, got my wife here. That's how we landed 8. So, you know, that was probably the funnest moment. And then remember cracking that open first time. That was real nice. So, first big beer.
That was your beer geek transition moment.
There you go.
Johnny has more beer geek in him than he shows. One beer geek thing I have also learned is you don't use your percussion bottle popper on Belgian beers because they will overflow on you. That shock into the bottle, because they're, I guess, high level carbonations, as they have all that active yeast in there, they bubble over. We learned that with our friend Golden Drac a few reviews ago. But I think without further ado, we should give him a little info on this beer and get in the freaking glass, right?
Well, I guess first we need to give a blessing here.
Ah.
Nombre de Padre, del Hijo, del Espíritu Santo.
Amen. Yes.
Okay, now it's time.
Exactly. So, you guys know this beer. Westy 12 from the St. Sisters Abbey in Westvleteren, Belgium, in the EU. And this is a quad. They produce this year-round, but you don't always get it year-round. I got lucky enough, as you saw in my Beer Geek shopping video, to get a brick of this. So, Westy 12, Trappist Quad, 10.2% alcohol by volume, and they don't give IBUs, but it's definitely between 25 and 38. And I've heard people say that fresh like this, it's a bit on the hoppier side, so maybe towards that 38. This bottle, they're saying, is good till 10 to 15, but we all know that it'll last way longer than that. People sell these way, way longer. So, let's get the cap popped on this. We got our little pry opener here. Oh, nice hiss off the top. Wow, I can smell the sugars from here. A lot of smoke coming off the top of this one. We got our adorned bottle with the American label on the back. John is supplicating. Wow. Boom.
The blood of the deer.
Exactly. This came with these 2 glasses, of course. You guys seen the other videos out there. So we'll put the rest of our bottle here. Look at that, guys. Super fluffy head on the top. Mega tight bubbles. Not dissipating quickly at all. That's sticking around. 2-finger head on this little glass, their little chalice. Khaki off-white. If you look at the beer, it's sort of a river water color, or maybe like a southern, sweet tea looking beer. No light coming through it hardly at all. Maybe just a few glints and hints of red and gold down the bottom, but for the most part, you're not seeing anything through this beer.
Effervescence in the bottom.
Yep. Streaming bubbles from the bottom. This is a live beer. Got plenty of yeast, meant to cellar for, extended cellar for years. And I'm gonna get a nose on this one. Champagne-like in the smell. Dark fruits. A bit of apple.
Yeah, it's a bit of apple. It smells like that.
Some caramel. Raisins. And I get honey as well. Wow. Really inviting beer. Wow. Cheers.
Salante.
It's another year. Salancha, whatever, salud, prost, whatever you like. Cheers.
You first.
Wow. When you take a first sip of this, you know it's a Belgian beer. It's got that effervescent, palate wiping, cleansing, whatever you want to call it, carbonation. Rolls over your tongue, and you could, if you wanted to, you could pound this back like nothing. Very champagne-like in the mouthfeel. I'd say medium thick. It coats your mouth fairly well. And I get big dark fruits. that Belgian candy sugar, a little bit of spice from the Belgian yeast, a ton of dark fruits, apple. Man, just a lovely beer.
I just may send the monks some extra money.
Wow.
To keep producing this stuff. I mean, awesome flavor. Granny Smith apple. I mean, it's like eating that with some cherries, raisins, all those fruits. You know, the tingliness on the top of your tongue. No real bad aftertaste. Nice and smooth with the, you know, like that tingliness. Almost kind of has that bourbon barrel taste a little bit going to it, even though it's not in a bourbon barrel. Just definitely respect the beer on this one.
I think the yeast strain they have too is maybe throwing some of those dark fruits in the character. But for a big beer, I don't taste the alcohol in the flavor. I can feel warming going down, no doubt at all. Just super, super tasty beer. We've got it right at the right temperature. My basement here, I have down here in the wintertime around 45 to 50 degrees, somewhere around there, and that's where we're approaching this one right now.
They were saying somewhere between 55, what was it, 53 and 60, I said?
Yeah.
It's on the bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And,
but, man, what a delicious beer. I mean, it's it gets a lot of hype, and in my opinion, it deserves the hype, and from everything I've read about it, and folks that I've talked to that have a lot more experience with this beer, people in Europe that I've corresponded back and forth with and everything over the YouTube and Hubu and all that stuff, they tell me that cellared that's even better. And
we've had it cellared for what? 5 months?
I guess it's like
4 months?
I guess it's like from the date of production it's probably 6 months.
Yeah.
So it's not super fresh. There's even a bit of hop flavor in this beer.
In the end, in the tail end.
It's a very complex beer. And it's as complex as many imperial stouts that we've approached. And I would even say in some ways it's more complex because it doesn't have a bourbon barrel or a super dominant flavor taking the beer over. And its drinkability is exponentially higher than a lot of the stouts. Like this, I could drink more than one of these.
Oh yeah.
No problem. If I had access to it all the time and I could drink more than one, you better believe it.
I might just become a monk there.
Exactly. Especially if the wives keep bugging us so much. Because, hey, the monks don't have it too bad. They pray.
Eat spaghetti with beer.
Yeah, brew and drink beer. But, man, what a awesome beer, guys. I mean, there's a lot of folks out there who naysay this and say, oh, it's not the best beer in the world, blah, blah, blah. You know what? All that shit's subjective. If I haven't learned anything after a year of this BrewTube reviewing...
You might like a beer that I might not like.
That's right.
Or we might both like beers, or... You might like malt liquor and I don't, or he likes a beer, he gives it a better grade and I don't. It's all what you might like pizza, I might not like it.
There's a lot of guys, like say around here, man, they love Natty Bo. That's their shit. Well, great, drink it.
I don't.
I may not like it, and that'd be me. If I review it, I might say, oh, I don't like this too much, and I would say why I don't like it.
And we'll bash it.
That's right.
If there's a beer that you like, bash it.
That's great.
Or if you don't like that we like, bash it. It's fine.
Now this beer, by my calculation and what I paid for the brick, was $15 a bottle. Do I think it was worth it? Yes. Because I've paid for stouts and other things $30 a bottle and shit like that, and it's equal about 22. That's a 22-ounce bottle, which is about 2 of these. So all things considered, and you know what, the money was going to the monks too, at least a portion of it. I'm sure Shelton Brothers skimmed their pound of flesh off of it as well. We know that, don't we? But at least maybe the monks got a little bit of money to help repair their monastery, maybe upgrade the brewery some. But overall, to me, this is just a top-notch beer, and it's probably one of the best, if not the best beer I've drank so far. And I'm saying that because I'm judging it on what it is. Yeah, there's stouts that I may have been blown away a little bit more and more shock and awe than this beer has right now in my mouth. Because we both drank quite a few quads at this point leading up to drinking this beer. This is hands down the best quad that I've drank.
Yeah.
I've had St. Bernardus. We drank Trap 10. We've had Westmail.
Yeah.
We've drank every Abbey quad out there, and a lot of the American ones. 6 Glass, which is considered the top. We drank Weyerbacher quad. You name it. We've tried to dig into it. We may not have reviewed it, but we've certainly poured it into our gullet. And in my opinion, this is the best quad that I've had. Period. So there you have it. You may not believe that. That might not be your opinion. That's great. That's what makes craft beer and all this beer reviewing stuff kind of fun, because everybody's got a varying opinion and discussion on it, man. That's fun. You know, I like to hear about it. If you don't agree with me, that's awesome, because that means you're thinking. And that's why I like craft beer. Because fizzy yellow shit, you don't think about that. You just chug-a-lug it and get crunked after about 50 or 60 of them, because don't you know 10.2% be session strength for me and John. Exactly. How do you feel about it? I'm flapping my gums because I'm a crazy beer geek, but...
No, I agree. It's different than like we had with Parabola. It's a more mellow flavor, complex but mellow, where Parabola just was big, bold, bam, out front.
In your face.
This is, this is like, the Monk's been doing it all these years. Just chill. It's a chill beer. Hey, we're doing it this way. It's tasting like this. We're constantly, year after year, decade after decade, century after century, producing the same shit.
And they do it on fairly primitive equipment too, compared to other breweries. It's monks.
Yeah.
Literally monks in there doing it.
So, this is definitely props out to them, keeping it up. Somehow we'll find a way to get next year's version and the following years, just to make sure we keep up the tasting of this awesome stuff.
You can, from here, sitting back, I'm at least a foot away from the beer. I can smell the beer's aroma from here. I mean, I can smell the dark fruit and everything coming off the top of this beer, and none of the other quads that we've had that I can remember anyway do that. Not even the St. Bernardus, which I think is an awesome quad.
Yes.
And Trap 10 is awesome too. So is the Westmail. They're all super quads. But even that Golden Drac was really good.
Yep.
You like that one a lot, the 9000. But it's not this.
No.
I can see why people totally geek out. There is a reason for it, because it's just such a well-made beer. Look at the glass lacing on that.
Oh, yeah.
The head retention, the entire time we're flapping our jaws forever here about this beer and about our 1 year anniversary. But, we also want you to know that we really appreciate you guys watching. We appreciate all of our subs. Shout out to all our subs. We don't have time, because you wouldn't watch all that video, to give shout outs to all our subs.
I think we did that like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, when we were pounding malt liquor. There you go. This is the dichotomy of beer. Malt liquor pounding in the cold 45, or the natural ice, or Westy 12.
We drink beer from all over the world.
That's right. We are omnivores. So
beerivores.
Yes, we really appreciate you guys watching, all your comments and stuff. You guys are a lot of fun. Whether you're spitting hate or you're sending the love, whatever, it's all good. So, all I got to say, since my first video, I think I even said it then, I don't remember, because and if you watch that video, the camera's really shitty. But hot dogs up on the table having some pie. But remember, think globally. We're thinking globally here. Drink locally. We've been exiled to the basement again.
Yeah.
Enjoy the craft beer movement. Support the craft beer movement. Find some of the beer from the brothers here. Buy some from them. Help them repair that abbey. Until the next time, we're going to finish off this beer. Do Santo. Amen. And that's
brothers.
To the brothers, yes. Thanks for making this beer, brothers. And that's a big
peace out.
Since we haven't really learned anything in a year,
we've done this twice in 2 days.
Yeah, we didn't give a grade, but I think you could tell by our geeking out that we're giving this.
We didn't like it at all.
Yeah, we didn't like this at all. We're going to give this a A+. I am anyway.
Yeah, it's top notch.
Top notch.
And I guess we're going to agree with Right Beer, 100.
And Beer Advocate,
100. So, I'll go with numbers on this one, 100.
100. I mean, that's easy numbers. But so. Once again, that's a big
peace out.
Peace out.